Brock Lesnar returns to challenge CM Punk for the World Heavyweight title on WWE RAW. Hold everything. Brock Lesnar, the same Brock Lesnar who just got destroyed by Jacob Fatu weeks ago, who was left looking weak and vulnerable for the first time in his career, who many thought might be done with WWE, just returned on Monday Night Raw and immediately challenged CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we're supposed to just forget that Brock got demolished and accept him as a credible threat to Punk's title reign without any explanation of how he recovered or why he deserves this opportunity. This is classic WWE sweep inconvenient storylines under the rug, pretend recent history didn't happen, and give opportunities to part-time legends while full-time wrestlers who've been grinding every week get nothing. Brock shows up whenever he wants, gets handed a title shot because of his name value, and we're all supposed to be excited instead of furious that WWE's booking has zero consistency or logic. I am conflicted about this return. I am angry about the lack of continuity. And I am absolutely demanding that someone explain why Brock Lesnar deserves anything after getting embarrassed by Jacob Fatu. Drop in the comments right now, are you hyped for Brock vs Punk, or are you furious that WWE is ignoring recent storylines to book this match? Because the wrestling world is split on this. Monday Night Raw just delivered one of the most shocking returns of the year when Brock Lesnar's music hit unexpectedly, and what should have been a moment of pure excitement is instead generating controversy because of how WWE is handling continuity and opportunity distribution. Question for the Brock Lesnar historians: has Brock ever returned from a humiliating defeat without acknowledgement or explanation? This feels unprecedented. Let me break down exactly what happened on Raw, why this return is both exciting and problematic, why the Brock vs Punk matchup has incredible potential despite the booking issues, and what this means for everyone on the Raw roster who's been working full-time without getting opportunities. The show was building towards CM Punk's championship celebration. Punk was in the ring with the World Heavyweight Championship, cutting a promo about his reign, about destroying the Vision, about proving he's still the best in the world. The crowd was eating it up because Punk's character work is elite. Punk specifically called out anyone brave enough to challenge him. I've beaten everyone the Vision threw at me. I've outlasted Paul Heyman's schemes. I've proven that the old guard can still go. So if there's anyone in the back who thinks they can take this title from me, come out here right now and say it to my face. That's classic Punk, confident, confrontational, daring people to step up. The crowd was hyped, waiting to see who would answer. And then Brock Lesnar's music hit. The arena exploded. That initial pop was massive because regardless of booking issues, Brock's presence is undeniable. When that music hits, people react. Should WWE's reliance on nostalgia pops from returning stars be criticized, or is giving fans what they want always the right call? The excitement versus booking integrity debate. Brock walked out looking intense, not damaged, not hesitant, but like the beast incarnate who's destroyed everyone for 20 years. There was no acknowledgement in his demeanor that he'd recently been demolished by Jacob Fatu. He looked like nothing had happened. That's the problem, the disconnect between what we saw weeks ago and what we're being presented with now. Wrestling requires some continuity to maintain believability. Brock entered the ring, and the stare-down with CM Punk was electric. Two absolute legends, two men with complicated histories, two of the best to ever do it, face to face. The visual alone was worth the price of admission. Punk grabbed the microphone first. Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, the conqueror, the man who, wait, aren't you the same guy who got his ass kicked by Jacob Fatu a few weeks ago? The same Brock who looked human for the first time ever? And you think you can beat me? Thank you, Punk. Someone acknowledged the elephant in the room. Punk doing what Punk does best, addressing the obvious questions that everyone's thinking. Did CM Punk mentioning the Jacob Fatu loss save this segment by acknowledging continuity, or does it highlight how awkward the booking is? Brock's response was perfect. He smiled. Not a cocky smile, but an angry smile. The smile of someone who's pissed that their vulnerability was exposed and is here to reclaim their reputation. Then Brock spoke, and Brock speaking is always significant because he rarely does it. Punk, that loss to Jacob Fatu was a wake-up call. It reminded me that I can't take anything for granted in this business. So I've spent the last few weeks preparing, training, getting angrier. And now I'm back, and I want your championship. Not because I deserve it. Not because I'm owed it. But because I'm going to take it from you by force. That promo works because it doesn't ignore the loss, it reframes it as motivation. That's good character work that maintains continuity while moving forward. But here's the counter-argument: should one promo be enough to erase a humiliating loss? Don't we need to see Brock rebuild his credibility through matches first? The WWE establishment of credibility through talk versus action, which approach is better for long-term storytelling? CM Punk's response was classic. Brock, I respect what you've accomplished. I respect that you're one of the baddest men to ever step in this ring. But respect doesn't win championships, performance does. And right now, I'm the champion. I'm the one with the target on my back. And if you want this title, you're going to have to go through hell to take it from me. The crowd was molten. The CM Punk and Brock Lesnar chants were dueling. This is what wrestling should be: two legitimate stars with real heat creating must-see television. And then Paul Heyman's music hit. Paul Heyman appearing during a Brock/Punk confrontation is loaded with history and implications. Heyman walked out with a microphone and his trademark smirk. Gentlemen, as much as I would love to see you two destroy each other right now, there are proper channels for these things. Brock Lesnar, you want a title shot? Fine. But CM Punk, you're the champion, do you accept? This puts the decision on Punk. Smart booking that makes the champion look strong by having choice. Should champions have the power to accept or deny challenges, or should management make those decisions? The authority structure in wrestling. Punk's answer was immediate. Paul, I don't run from anyone. Brock wants his shot? He's got it. Name the time and place, and I'll be there ready to prove that legends are earned, not given. Boom. Match accepted. The crowd went insane. This is happening. Heyman announced, excellent. Then at the next premium live event, it will be CM Punk defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Brock Lesnar. And gentlemen, let me warn you both, I will be watching very closely. That last line suggests Heyman might have ulterior motives. Does he want to recruit the winner? Does he want both to destroy each other? Classic Heyman ambiguity. What is Paul Heyman's actual agenda in facilitating this match? Is he helping, hindering, or manipulating both men? Let's discuss why Brock vs. Punk is such a dream match despite the booking concerns. Reason 1, they barely interacted in WWE. Their paths have crossed minimally, making this feel fresh despite both being veterans. Reason 2, style clash is fascinating. Brock's brutal power versus Punk's technical skill and psychology creates natural drama. Reason 3, promo battles would be incredible. Both are elite talkers who can build heat through words and intensity. Reason 4, historical significance. Two of the biggest stars of the 2000s/2010s finally getting a marquee singles match. Reason 5, unpredictable outcome. Unlike some matches where the winner is obvious, this could go either way. Rank these 5 reasons by importance. Which factor makes you most excited for this match? Now let's address the problems with this booking. Problem 1, Brock's recent loss to Jacob Fatu undermines his credibility as a threat. Problem 2, Brock is part-time while full-time wrestlers are overlooked for title shots. Problem 3, this perpetuates WWE's pattern of giving opportunities to legends over building new stars. Problem 4, the timeline is rushed, no build besides this one confrontation. Problem 5, this potentially takes the title off CM Punk right when his reign was getting momentum. Which problem is most concerning for WWE's long-term booking? Rate them by severity. The full-time roster reaction should be outraged. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, countless others have been on Raw every week. They've earned title shots through consistency and performance. Brock shows up after getting demolished, cuts one promo, and gets a title match. Where's the fairness in that? This creates resentment in the locker room, kayfabe and real. How are full-time wrestlers supposed to feel valued? WWE needs to address this or risk alienating the workers who make the show happen every week. Should there be an on-screen protest from full-time wrestlers about Brock's immediate title shot? That would be compelling television. The potential outcomes of Brock vs. Punk. Scenario 1, Punk retains clean, establishes him as top guy. Brock's comeback attempt fails, credibility question continues. Scenario 2, Brock wins clean, Punk's reign ends early, Brock's comeback is complete. But what about the Jacob Fatu loss? Scenario 3, Punk retains by DQ/countout, heat continues, rematch is set up, but no clear resolution. Scenario 4, interference, Jacob Fatu attacks Brock, costing him the match, continuing that storyline. Scenario 5, double turn, Punk goes heel or Brock goes babyface through the course of the match. Which scenario would create the best long-term storytelling? Rank them 1 to 5. The Jacob Fatu factor cannot be ignored. Fatu destroyed Brock to establish himself as the Bloodline's ultimate weapon. If Brock suddenly beats Punk, it makes Fatu's victory look meaningless. WWE must address this either through Fatu interference or post-match angle. The three-way dynamic of Punk/Brock/Fatu has incredible potential if booked properly. Should Jacob Fatu be involved in the Brock/Punk match to maintain his credibility, or let them have a clean singles match? The historical context of Brock's WWE returns. Brock has returned multiple times, always with massive impact. But this return feels different. He's coming back from loss rather than absence. Previous returns positioned him as unstoppable. This return has him as damaged. That could make for better storytelling if WWE commits to it. The vulnerable Brock character is more interesting than invincible Brock. Is a damaged Brock seeking redemption story more compelling than unstoppable Brock dominates everyone? Character complexity matters. CM Punk's championship reign has been excellent so far. He's had compelling matches and storylines. He's elevated everyone he's worked with. He's brought legitimacy to the World Heavyweight Championship. Ending his reign to Brock would need to be done carefully to maintain that momentum. If Punk loses to Brock, his entire "I'll destroy everyone" promo becomes empty words. What's the minimum length Punk's championship reign should last to be considered successful? 3 months? 6 months? A year? The build to the match will be crucial. One confrontation isn't enough, we need weeks of promos, near confrontations, psychological warfare. Both men are elite talkers, give them microphone time to build genuine heat. Physical confrontation should be limited, save the violence for the actual match. Backstage segments showing both men's preparations would add depth. Heyman's manipulation should create additional layers to the story. How many weeks of build does this match need to feel properly developed? Is 3 weeks enough, or do we need more? The match itself could be an all-time classic. Both men are elite workers when motivated. The styles mesh perfectly. Power versus technique creates natural drama. Story beats are built in. Brock's power advantage versus Punk's experience and cunning. The crowd would be molten for this. Both men have passionate supporters. This could main event a Big 4 premium live event easily. What stipulation, if any, would make this match better? Standard singles match, no DQ, submission, or something else? The aftermath is just as important as the match. Winner needs immediate credible challenger to maintain momentum. Loser needs direction that doesn't make them look finished. The Heyman factor needs payoff. What was his angle in making this match? Jacob Fatu should factor in somehow to maintain continuity. The full-time roster deserves acknowledgement and opportunities afterward. Should the loser of Brock vs. Punk be written off TV temporarily, or immediately inserted into new storylines? Social media reactions have been intense. Pro-Brock fans, this is perfect. Dream match finally happening. Brock will destroy Punk. Pro-Punk fans, Punk's reign should continue. He's earned it. Brock doesn't deserve this shot. Continuity-focused fans, what about Jacob Fatu? WWE ignoring their own storylines again. Full-timer supporters, another part-timer getting opportunities. This is disrespectful to the roster. Which perspective is most valid? Can multiple viewpoints all be partially correct? Final questions before we wrap. 1. Are you excited or angry about Brock returning to challenge Punk? 2. Does Brock's loss to Jacob Fatu disqualify him from title shots? 3. Should full-time wrestlers have priority over part-timers for opportunities? 4. Who should win the Brock vs. Punk championship match? 5. How should WWE book this to satisfy both excitement and continuity concerns? Give me your answers to all 5 with detailed reasoning. Here's my ultimate take. Brock Lesnar vs. CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship is a dream match with incredible potential that's being undermined by questionable booking decisions around continuity and opportunity distribution. The match itself could be legendary. Both men are all-time greats who can deliver on the biggest stage. The promos will be incredible, the psychology will be next level, and the crowd will be invested. But WWE's failure to properly address Brock's recent loss, combined with giving immediate opportunities to part-timers over full-time workers, creates legitimate concerns about their priorities and long-term planning. If they handle this properly, acknowledge continuity, build properly, deliver a classic match, and create meaningful aftermath, this could be one of the best programs of the year. If they rush it, ignore problems, and treat it as just another match, they'll waste the potential and create more frustration than excitement. Let me know everything in the comments. Dream match or booking disaster? Who wins? How should it be built? And if you made it this far, drop Punk retains or Brock wins with your prediction. Subscribe for coverage of this developing program, like if you're conflicted like I am, and share because everyone needs to debate this controversial booking. Until next time, demand consistency, expect greatness, and I'll